Right, welcome guys. Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. I've watched it. I'm reviewing it. I had a good time with this film. Genuinely a great time. Genuinely really decent time. Michael Keaton fell into the Beetlejuice role so seamlessly. Obviously, we're only watching the end result, right? But it doesn't look like he struggled. It looks like he was just having an absolute blast. And I wanna talk about that specifically, that point, because when you hear that, sometimes you go, "Oof, that's not a good sign." You know, when the cast and crew, they're having a good time, that's not good. No, I agree, right? 9 times out of 10. But there are those rare special occasions where someone, or all the cast and crew, are having a great time, but they're still focused on making something great for you. And that was so clear here. Right, look, at the end of the day, is this as charming as the original? No, of course it's not. You know, the original was original. This is a sequel to a legacy film. So, at the end of the day, it can't be as charming as the original. But what it does do, so effortlessly, I think, is just give you a sequel. It doesn't piss and shit all over the original. There's nothing nefarious to the original. Doesn't try to demean the original in any way, shape, or form. It's just, hey, we want to continue the story, so we're gonna. It's almost as if Tim Burton was like, you know what, I've got some money. Let's just have a good time for a few weeks and make something decent. That's honestly what it feels like. It was a really good film. Winona Ryder is like ageless somehow, bizarrely. That woman does not age. And she fell into this role again so effortlessly. Jenna Ortega plays Astrid Dietz, Lydia Dietz's daughter. Basically, what's the story, right? And it's not really a spoiler, because there's nothing really to spoil in this film. There's no like great grand surprises or anything like that. It's just an adventure in the world of Beetlejuice. It's an hour and 44 minutes, and the pacing's really good. So the story is, Lydia Dietz's father dies, right? So they have to go back to the town to bury him and sort out his effects and, you know, the house. Lydia Dietz is a psychic medium. She's very famous. Astrid Dietz doesn't really like her. You know, her mother, Lydia. But there's a point to that. I won't get into that. There's not really any need. But it's not really played up in like a nefarious way. It's played up in a good comedic fashion. Anyway, Lydia keeps seeing Beetlejuice around. And obviously when they go back, you know, sees him again. And Astrid, there's like 2 side stories. There's Astrid's side story in the afterlife and Lydia's story in the afterlife. And there's another side story in the afterlife. There's like 2 other side stories. There's like Monica Bellucci plays Beetlejuice's wife, ex-wife thing. And that's like another side story. It's a bit of a nothing burger side story, but it's still fun nonetheless. I wish they dug into that a little bit more, because that would have been quite fun, I think. And then there's like a Willem Dafoe cop afterlife actor thing side story. It's very good. The practical effects in this is incredible. It's absolutely amazing. It's so good. There is some just phenomenal stop motion stuff. Like absolutely phenomenal stop motion, like claymation things. It's a whole sequence with sandworms. You've seen it in some of the trailers. But then there is quite literally a whole sequence which is like claymation, stop motion stuff, like outside of the sandworm business. And that's mind-blowing. Now, that was really good. It's funny. Michael Keaton is great as Beetlejuice. Like, genuinely great. Very funny. I don't know. I couldn't recommend it more. And my theatre was... I was in the IMAX screening, and my theatre was surprisingly busy. You know, for a legacy sequel film. We've come to groan at legacy sequels, and it's fully understandable. These legacy sequels are normally, 9 times out of 10, so bad. They're bad. They demean the original. They are pointless, and they are cash grabs. And it's so painfully obvious that they are cash grabs. So this came around, and it was such a breath of fresh air. Catherine O'Hara is great in this as well. Really, really, really good. It was just brilliant. It was just very, very good. Tim Burton still got it as a director, and I know that sounds like, oh, of course he's still got it. Yeah, like, of course he's still got it. But he's still got it in the things which, you know, have sort of popularized his career, right? Because you'd think that people would move on and develop other things. Like, no, he fits right back into it. The soundtrack was really good. The pacing is solid in this. You know, it doesn't... I think some people... And I've not looked at the critic reviews, but there might be some critic reviews... I looked at them a few weeks ago or a week ago, but I didn't look properly, and I've not looked recently. I think there'll be some people that have an issue with this film not having a great grand purpose. But I love the fact that this doesn't have a great grand purpose. I love the fact that this is just a nice romp through the afterlife, and it's fun. Doesn't need to be anything else. Right, and I bet you anything there'll be some stuffy, uptight, twatty critics that are like, oh, it needs to be blah, blah, blah. And like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. This is just fun. This, I reckon, will do quite well in theatres. Just because it is fun, and people will be like, yeah, I had a really good time with that. Yeah, it was fun. People want fun. And it's quite gross as well. Like, there's quite a lot of gross stuff in it. Like, it definitely... It just feels like of its time, of the original's time. Doesn't feel like something made in 2024. And that is probably the best compliment I could give it. It does not feel like a film released in 2024. Jenna Ortega is great as well. She's solid. But she's great in everything now, to be fair. So more Jenna, more Beetlejuice. Like, give me another... I'd see another Beetlejuice. I would be well happy to see another Beetlejuice. I mean, don't, obviously. But it does make you feel like, ah, yeah, like, that would be good. I don't want another one, mind you. But it would still be good. And Monica Bellucci, she's still hot. Anyway, there you go. Go out and watch it. I don't think you'd be disappointed. If you've seen it, let me know your thoughts. Take care. Bye-bye now.